And welcome again to Immigration News and Views. My name is David Nachman, and I'm one of the managing attorneys at the NPZ, Nachman Fulwani Zimochek Law Group. As our viewers know, we have offices in New Jersey, we also have an office in New York City, and we also have an office in Indianapolis, downtown. We also have affiliated offices in Canada and also in India. So today I come to you to discuss the very disappointing determination that was made by the Fifth Circuit yesterday with regard to the DAPA and the new DACA programs. And I remind you, of course, that the old DACA program is still online. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the determination because a lot of folks are calling our office with questions about, for example, is DAPA dead? And the answer is DAPA is not dead. It's, I guess, in a form of resuscitation. So it's really not dead, it's just delayed. And it's not really different than where we were at before. Unfortunately, it was our strong hope and desire that the Fifth Circuit would have been able to dissolve the restraining order and would have allowed individuals to move forward and to file their DACA, their new DACA and their DAPA applications. However, as a result of the determination which was made by 3 judges in the Fifth Circuit, that is unfortunately not going to happen. The arguments before the court, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, had to do with whether or not there was going to be a likelihood of success on the merits, and that's what they have to focus on in order to determine whether or not they're going to overturn an injunction. And what they did is they gave deference to the administrative agency in the state of Texas, saying that the state of Texas Motor Vehicles Department said that it would be an undue burden to issue licenses to the individuals who were affected, unfortunately, by the by this program. That if the DAPA program and new DACA program were to go through, that there would be a very large number of people who would have to receive driver's license. To me, it's sort of a crazy argument that it would be a burden to them, because what they could do is they could change the fees and increase the fees for these driver's license. Another reason is that obviously they're making a lot of money on the driver's license. So if anything, that's a source of income for the Division of Motor Vehicles in Texas. But either way, unfortunately, they didn't go, the determination in the Fifth Circuit didn't go as we would have liked to see it. However, the next question, of course, the next logical question is, where do we go from here? What happens to the new DACA program and the DAPA program? Well, the first thing that I want to point out to all our viewers is that there will be an argument on the actual merits of the case, which was, this is the actual case itself, the substance of the case. That will be argued in early July. So that means, of course, that we have an opportunity, of course, to see whether or not these programs will go through, and again, that will probably happen in early July. With regard to what actually happened in the Fifth Circuit, there are a couple of different strategies that are being kicked around. We're not exactly sure what's going to happen. Probably within the next week or two, we might hear what's going to happen. The first thing is that there is a possibility that this case could be taken back to the Fifth Circuit with a request for an en banc determination. What that means is that it would be a majority of the judges all have to make the determination. So they can ask for a rehearing en banc. So that's number one. That is one particular strategy. The second strategy that could be undertaken is that it could be taken directly to the Supreme Court. Now, mind you, the Supreme Court is they're on their summer break until September, so getting to the Supreme Court is, of course, going to be a logistical issue. And if it goes to the Supreme Court, of course, it could go to the Supreme Court as a full-blown argument to the Supreme Court, or there is a procedure whereby there's one justice who could be chosen who could make a determination that the states, of which there are 25 states that have joined this litigation, they could determine that those 25 states could have things go one way, and then the other 25 states could have things go a different way. So those are the strategies, at least in the wake of the Fifth Circuit determination. So that's unfortunately what's happened, at least with regard to DAPA and the new DACA program. So I guess that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the good, a little bit about the bad, and of course a little bit about the ugly. But that's the bad, unfortunately. But some of the good is that the spring rulemaking agenda for the USCIS and the Department of Labor seem to have some very good subject matter. For example, there seems to be determinations, or at least discussion, about the possibility of our seeing regulations in the fall with regard to the parole for entrepreneurs, so individuals who are coming to the United States to develop jobs and to increase the economic infrastructure in the United States. And there was discussion back when President Obama made his announcement in mid-November, November 20th and 21st, with regard to parole for entrepreneurs, that there would be a certain amount of financing that would be required. Unfortunately, we don't have the details on that, but again, the spring rulemaking agenda for the USCIS seems to indicate that there will be a rule in the fall about what we can expect to see for parole for entrepreneurs. So that's a very good thing. Another good thing is that there's discussion right now about a new rule that we might be seeing with regard to individuals who have approved I-140s and when they might be able to apply for I-765s or employment authorization documents. So again, there seems to be something on the spring rulemaking agenda with regard to the possibility of issuance of EADs for individuals in certain cases that have approved I-140s. There are also some other discussions. The Department of Labor in its spring rulemaking agenda also talked about a modernization of the PERM process, which is something that the President also discussed in his executive actions in November. So again, some of the bad, which is the DAPA and the DACA, at least for the time being. Some of the good, which is the spring rulemaking agendas. So we're waiting, of course, to see what will come out in the fall. And, the ugly is, of course, that immigration politics continues to be a very difficult roller coaster ride. The only thing we can ask you as our viewers to do is to stay tuned, and we'll continue to provide you with the best possible updates that we can as that information is released from the administrative agencies. Thanks so much for signing on and for viewing this update, and we look forward to bringing you some additional news as it develops. Thanks so much. Bye now.